How can you learn skills on the fly as an entrepreneur? Stay tuned and find out.
Welcome.
Okay, here's the question.
Serious?
How are we dark horses? You know, the ones everyone is betting against, the ones they don't expect to win, place, or even show on the track, and they'll even laugh on us when we talk about trying. How do we show the world our greatness and triumph?
Come on.
Well, that's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers.
Let's go.
This is The Dark Horse Entrepreneur. My name is Tracy Brinkman.
And push it out.
What is up? What is up? What the hell is up, my dark horse friends and family? Welcome back to your ongoing dose of entrepreneurial learning. I'm your dark horse host, Tracy Brinkman. And you, well, that, my friend, it's infinitely more important. You are a driven entrepreneur, or perhaps you're one in the making. Either way, you're here because you're ready to start, restart, kickstart, and just start leveling up with some great marketing, personal, or business tips and results in order to build that beautiful business of yours into the empire it absolutely deserves to be. And that's why I'm here hitting you with yet another solo success episode coming to you straight from the Dark Horse HQ as we dive deep into success with actionable advice, tips, and steps designed to help you level up your life, your game, your business, because as we already know, there are no shortcuts to success except for taking those little steps towards your goal every single day. And speaking of those little steps, why don't you do me a favor? Take a little step right now. You're getting value from these podcasts, right? That's right. I thought so. And if you're getting value, we need to let those podcast platforms know you're getting that value. And the little steps you need to do that are to go on down there, hit that subscribe button. While you're there, you'll be able to, right next to that, give us a 5-star rating, drop us some kind words in the reviews, leave us some comments, ask questions. I read every single one of the reviews. These subscribes, ratings, and reviews tell those podcast platforms out there that you are getting that value. They give us a little lift in the rankings as a result so that we can reach more driven entrepreneurs just like you. So please take a moment, show the love. I appreciate you. All right. So back on Monday, what was it? Episode 210, Jackson Milan and I did chat a little bit about our educational system and perhaps some of the gaps that's in it. Now, I'm not talking about the amazing opportunities that are available in some of the higher level educational facilities, but I'm talking about the everyday Joe sending his kids to school and the content that they are taught. And, I'm not here to stand on a soapbox and spout educational reform, but I am here to say that there's some opportunities, right? Now, as I look around, I hear people saying things like, and we may have echoed it a little bit, that, our current educational system is this industrial machine formed. And I know some folks will even go so far as to say that it was formed for the sole purpose of creating docile workers that will show up on time. And there may be some truth to that. And I know our current educational system was mimicked from an educational system in Prussia long before Prussia was ever industrialized. So there may be some fallacies there. Maybe over time it was molded to what it is today. Obviously it was molded to what it is today. But I think the original intent wasn't for the industrial piece of things, but it may have formed that over the years. And I think last year, with the whole onslaught of the events that COVID threw us into, we probably saw a lot of opportunities, and those opportunities were brought to light to a lot of folks as everyone had to shift in their educational processes. And I think our educational system probably did a great job, or is doing a great job, in embracing the technology, right? They're using the technology. They shifted to an online course format, doing, Zoom schools. And I know there were different classroom formats, and I can't think of all the names of them right now. But I think perhaps maybe it's more of the content that is being taught, right? I mean, to my knowledge, I think educational opportunities to learn things that are more practical, like, personal finance, mortgages, loans, things that are all a part of the adulting world, is very limited, but they do spend some time on, Keynesian economic principles and things like that. So wouldn't we rather have, or wouldn't we also like to have the opportunity to give them some insights into the business world and the world of entrepreneurship, the folks like the Bezos of the world, the Jobs, the Gates, all the amazing things that they were able to do, and inspire a lot more of our youth to go out there and attain heights of entrepreneurship that so many today believe are unattainable because they see these big guys. Good God, he's a billionaire. Look what Steve Jobs is, and such a poor. I could never do that. Where if we begin to educate them early on, they begin to have a different form of thought. But how does that help you, my fellow entrepreneur? As you're sitting here listening to this podcast going, yeah, that's all great, Tracy. But that's not what I came in here to listen to your podcast. I want you to help me today, right now. So I am going to do that. I want to give you some opportunities to learn skills on the fly as an entrepreneur, as you step into your entrepreneurial role, or as you continue to take that next step into your entrepreneurial role. And let's give you some ideas of how you can learn skills or improve your skills on the fly as things are going along, because we know there's a lot of us that are out there just bootstrapping things, right? You're like, you know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to step into this world. I'm going to learn as I go. Man, and more power to you for it. So, all that said, let's find some ways that can help you make that happen. And I think the very first way, because it's going to happen, is you need to be able to leverage the feedback. Some people might call it failure. You know me. It's not failure. It's feedback. Now, mind you, it didn't go the way you wanted it to, right? You took an action. You expected result A, and maybe you got result Z or D or A.5, but it wasn't the result you expected. Well, now you have feedback. You can educate yourself. Failure and this feedback is an unavoidable aspect of your entrepreneurial journey. You could even have built this amazing team, have this top-notch product, and the failure can still happen anyway. It's still a possibility. Maybe the message didn't get out there. Any number of things could happen. Maybe the world was shut down. Right? Everyone had to stay in their home, and whatever it was, your product services is folks that get to be outside and doing things. Not your fault. I think I read somewhere that 42% of new companies that start up fail, and they fail within the first 4 years of their operation. So maybe they're even swimming along, and something turns on them, and they stumble, they bumble, they trip, they fall. I think the key to that, and you've heard me say this again, is to pick your ass back up. I don't even care if you dust yourself off and take the next step and learn. Heck, let's do this. Let's go through our stumble, bumble, trip, fall, or face plant. Let's stand up and let's look back over our shoulder and see perhaps what caused it. Did you trip over a big ass log that was sitting right there that you should have seen in the first place, but you were running so fast that it's like, oh, duh. I should have known about that, right? You're just doing your thing, cruising along, all of a sudden, bip, bam, tumble. So taking a moment to look back over your shoulder. You don't even need to do a full turnaround. Don't get caught up in this paralysis by analysis. Look over there and say, oops, I should have ran around that. I should have jumped a second earlier, whatever it is, or I should have stopped, broke out the chainsaw, hacked that log in half, made a big open space for myself and anybody following behind me. All right, whatever it is that's going on, take that feedback and learn from it, because it'll be from these lessons in your past, right? This feedback that you get, you'll be able to use those lessons and launch your next effort. Maybe your company just failed. Now you've got the lessons learned from that feedback of that downturn. Now you can launch more educated and have a much better chance second go round, third go round, whatever it is for you. And that steps right into the next one is, man, you're going to have to be a self-starter. You're going to have to rely on that man or woman in the mirror. Every successful entrepreneur that I have met, chat with, read about, or whatever, were self-motivated. They didn't wait for all the stars and the moons and everything to align for the tide to be just right. Nah, they got up and they got out there and they got shit done. They didn't wait for those external influences. No teachers, no managers, no bosses, no new developments in the industry. They struck out on their own, gained the skills and the knowledge that they needed to make that shit happen. And here's the next thing, right? Those same folks, they were always looking for new ways to get better, to deepen their knowledge and their understanding of who it was they served, who they were themselves, their product or service, and how it could serve, and, the world in general around them. They're constant learners. So in order, as an entrepreneur, to be able to learn skills on the fly, you are definitely going to need to develop this internal mechanism, this really fire inside you, this desire, this burning desire to make active learning an ongoing part of who you are, not what you do. No, hear me out. It's got to be a part of who you are, right? Maybe you're going out there and you're reading journals in your industry, reading articles online, whatever it is, right? It's just because you're hungry. I mean, you're like, man, I want to know more knowledge. If you read one article a day, that's 365 articles in a year. How much more in the know would you be than those around you in your industry? Yeah, right? How much could you improve the decisions you make in your industry, in your business, in your life, right? So this is going to require a little humility and a lot of self-awareness, right? This inner drive for self-improvement is going to help you be a more successful learner than probably just about anything else, right? If someone come along and force changed on you, you'd be resistant. You'd be like, okay, well, I'll do it because I have to, right? But you wouldn't throw the same level of effort into it than it is when you have that internal drive, that hunger. You're hungry, right? You are hangry to get out there and learn more. The next two I talk about all the time, so I won't beat it up too much, but obviously they are setting goals and finding your why. And as we all know, at least if you've heard more than a few episodes of this podcast, it's not just finding your why, but it's aligning it with who you are, right? And these two really all fit. Well, it's actually three. It's kind of like your triad of success, right? Knowing who you are so that it will mold your why, and then setting your goals to get there. And I believe just in yesterday's episode, I reminded you of a number of the episodes that are about goal setting out there. So please go ahead and check those out and dig a little deeper. So I won't burn the time repeating those here, but you definitely want to have that Vista vision, that ultimate vision, right? What it is you're going for 10, 20 years ahead. You're looking at your life and like, man, my life is perfect. This is what it looks like. This is what it feels like. This is who I'm with. This is where I live. This is the car I drive. These are the people I work with. These are the people I serve. What is it? How does it feel? How does it smell? Right? And start reverse engineering. And why is it you want all that stuff? And who do you have to become to deserve it? Right? And now you can start backing into who you are today. And those things are either perfectly aligned, or maybe there's some slight changes, you have to make along the way. And those are part of your goals. And to reach those goals, you're going to have to do something very important. You're going to have to make some time every single day to take some action, some simple action that moves you one step forward towards that Vista vision, towards attaining that next goal that reaches you towards that ultimate vision, that legacy that you're reaching out for, that Vista vision. And I get it. You're busy. You got 8,700 things you have to do. You want me to do one more? Look, it's not me. I want you to be whatever it is you want to be. And if what it is you want to be is someone kicking it on the couch, eating potato chips and watching Netflix, I'm not going to judge. I enjoy a little Netflix and potato chip eating myself. But here's the thing. You're the kind of person listening to this show, listening to this guy in your ear. I'm thinking you want a little bit more than just that. Yeah, there'll probably be evenings, you'll spend your evenings, a little bag of potato chips, someone you care about, and a good show. I get it. Relaxing. We got to have that regeneration. But you still need to set that time to do that one task today and tomorrow and the next day and the next day. And I would even say every single day to move yourself forward. Heck, that little bit of time every day could be that blog article reading, right? I think some of the best learning opportunities for us as entrepreneurs are a bit unstructured. But if you set yourself that little space every single day as I'll call it a study period. I'm going back to my high school days, right? Where you can sit down there and read and study and engage or watch videos on whatever it is you want. If you say, all right, I'm going to get up a half hour earlier, I'm going to do my morning routine, and I'm going to do that half hour of study that Tracy was talking about. I'm going to read an article. I'm going to watch a video. I'm going to crack open a book. All right. That half hour every day, every single day, no holidays. You just make it part of my morning routine. That's almost 183 hours of education, of learning that you will have taken in over the course of this next year. Again, I come to you. How much smarter could you be about who it is you are, who it is you serve, what it is you can do to serve them, right? How much further ahead than would you be than your competition? Just saying. I think another learning opportunity, and they're starting to come back, are live events. Now, the events didn't entirely go away. A lot of them went online. I think there's amazing opportunities to get in front of these folks live or digitally, virtually, and learn from them. And here's the next step. Teach them. All right, you've heard me say this before. Learn, do, teach. So if you're going to be spending this half hour a day learning all these amazing things, these ideas are going to percolate new ideas in your head. You're going to test them out. Something's going to work. You're going to go, holy shit, I think I stumble on to the next sliced bread. I don't know. And then you can get into one of these events and you can teach others. Learn, do, teach. And when you teach others something that you've learned, you learn it even deeper. It becomes even more a part of who you are. And plus, you're helping others along the way, and you become a leader in your industry. And I don't know whether it's something you want to be. Not everyone likes to get up on a stage, live or virtually, to teach things, but certainly there's opportunities for you to do that. Heck, maybe you just write some articles and submit them. And they're like, oh, this is great stuff. I'm going to put it in there. But these professional conferences are really, really valuable ways that you can learn new trends and new skills that will have a direct impact on you and your entrepreneurial journey. And the final one, I've almost kind of said the final one, is get your hands dirty. Yeah, it's great to get out there and read all that stuff. It's great to have that half hour every single day and learn something so that you get those 183 hours over the course of the year. But it's not just about the learning. You got to get out there and start doing. You have to learn it, then you have to do it. And the studies are out there that says people that get out there and they learn by doing, perform far better than any of their peers. Same is true in the business world. So the students get out there and do it. In your entrepreneurial journey, when you learn something, go try it out. If it works for you, yay, 2 thumbs up. If it doesn't, all right, well, now you know. Again, more feedback. And for me, nothing at all beats on-hand learning. I can read an article, I can read a book, but when I go and I sit down and do it, there's something that just kind of imbues the knowledge a little deeper into me. I'm like, oh, okay, that's amazing. And maybe as you're doing, you even find these little minor tweaks that really hone the learning to your experience, because each of us have a slightly different experience, correct? So when you learn something like, all right, 2 plus 2 is 4. Well, if I go over here and put it into my business, 2 plus 2, well, my second 2 is really 2.1, right? And so you hone it to your world, your experiences, your entrepreneurial journey, and it really imbues it a little deeper into you. And then you turn around and say, well, I got to that 2 plus 2, but I found a better way to do it. And then you teach the others. And that kind of comes back to my previous example. I think if I wrap this all up, one of the gentlemen I have studied for many, many years is Jim Rohn. And one of his quotes are, formal education, yep, it'll make you a living. Self-education, that will make you a fortune. I think long-lasting success for anybody in any realm is going to come from becoming a learner, right? A hungry learner. And this is going to require you to look at factors that could keep you from reaching your Vista vision. And then you get out there and say, okay, that's keeping me from getting there. I'm going to take the action. I'm going to gain the skills and the knowledge so that is no longer keeping me from reaching my Vista vision, right? And as you strive to become this fired up and figure it out type of learner, you're going to cultivate your own personal toolkit that you need to be the success that you want to be. All right. Well, that kind of wraps up another awesome week here at the Dark Horse HQ. Oh, by the way, before you go, right? If you're looking for some help with your podcast, and I mean that in the sense that maybe you're looking to launch one, maybe you already have one and you need some help with the editing and promotion, or maybe you're looking to monetize your podcast. There's a whole slew of ways other than just advertising. You notice you don't hear any advertising in these podcasts, right? Reach out to me, Tracy at darkhorseschooling.com, or you can go to darkhorseschooling.com/coaching, fill out that form there, and let's chat. We'll get on a little power huddle session together, and I will make sure you walk away with a plan for success, free of charge, right? We'll just hang out for 30 minutes, I'll learn a little bit about you, but I'll, at the end, make sure you walk away with that success plan. Again, that's darkhorseschooling.com/coaching. Let's see how I can be of service to you in helping you start, restart, kickstart your business or your podcast. All right, you get out there, you run your race, you get your results, and come let me hear about them. Again, Tracy at darkhorseschooling.com. Until next time, think successfully and take action.
Thank you for listening to the Dark Horse Entrepreneur Podcast.
And you know this!
Thanks for tuning in.
Check us out at www.darkhorseschooling.com.
All right.
My name is Tracy Brinkman.